Liberty Nation with Tim Donner.
It is a regular occurrence, elevating someone in death beyond what they were in life. In the case of Rush Limbaugh, who succumbed to cancer this week at age 70, the temptation is the opposite, to actually understate what this giant of a man meant to the movement he nurtured and grew and sustained for more than 3 decades. But in the end, many friends and enemies alike will say he was just a radio talk show host, right? Wrong. After arriving as a national figure just as his hero Ronald Reagan was departing and the establishment moderate George H.W. Bush was about to take over, Rush became in many ways the custodian of the conservative movement. He quickly became and remained for these many years true north, the standard against which conservative arguments were judged for tens of millions of incredibly loyal listeners. In fact, the conservative movement writ large might have shriveled up and died had Rush Limbaugh not been there to pick up the mantle from Ronaldus Magnus, as Rush called his hero Ronald Reagan. The Reagan Revolution was complete, but ready to be deconstructed by the kinder, gentler Bush 41, who then gave way to Bill Clinton. Rush minded the store and kept the fires burning in the days leading up to the turnabout in the 1994 Gingrich Revolution, which he helped to spark. And it is even fair to argue that, were it not for Rush, Donald Trump would never have reached the Oval Office. Rush was the one who identified early on the unique opportunity for genuine structural reform represented by this bombastic billionaire from New York who defied the longest of odds and made it all the way to the White House. Conversely, if Rush had sent forth the word to his 20 million plus listeners the same way so many other conservative talk show hosts at the time had done, that Trump was not a real conservative and should be viewed with, at best, deep suspicion, Hillary Clinton would likely have won the election on that fact alone. That is the influence, the power, the respect this man commanded, and why he was for many years the most reviled man on the left. He was feared because, like Trump, he pulled no punches in calling out the left with brutal honesty and humor to beat the band. From a deeply personal standpoint, shows like Liberty Nation Radio would not even exist were it not for this pioneer of conservative talk radio, the man from humble roots in Missouri who rose to genuine greatness. He single-handedly created and dominated an industry that now stands as a staple of the conservative movement. His career was fittingly capped when he was stunningly awarded the highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, by then-President Trump in his final State of the Union address shortly after Rush's diagnosis of end-stage cancer. Relentless, unswerving, uncompromising. Those were the very qualities in Rush which he saw in the man he championed like no other, Donald Trump. Listeners could not help but notice the more forlorn tone of Rush's show after the last election he witnessed, which was no doubt a blow to his solar plexus, if not his heart. He passes on some 100 days after an outcome which he disputed to his dying day. Many men have greatness in them. Far fewer become great. And the fewest of all become great and irreplaceable. No one can replace Rush Limbaugh any more than anyone could replace William F. Buckley or Ronald Reagan or Donald Trump. To say we shall miss him now that he's gone is more than just the usual rosy phrase spoken of the dearly departed. In the case of Rush Limbaugh, it's an understatement.
Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner, along with Mark Angelides, Sarah Cowgill, Tim Donner, and Scott Cosenza, and this is Liberty Nation.
Let's take a look at the LibertyNation.com electoral leaderboard. It's still 238 for Joe Biden.
What if stories and legends can offer us the key to unraveling the hottest political issues of the day and apply their lessons to understanding the chaos of modern politics?
Impeach 45!
Only where freedom of speech is honored can people who look, sound, or think differently be truly free.
If you're discussing something that's difficult, the probability that you're not going to offend each other is zero.
President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Donald J. Trump is now president.
With one click, Liberty Nation delivers tomorrow's news.
And remember, liberty.
Today.
All the time and everywhere.
LibertyNation.com.